Just had a terribly interesting thought while I was in the shower. I've been trying to, I've been pondering this, a symbol that I created, a symbol that it's been around before, but it's been something that I've been thinking about. Imagine a circle, right? Circle, well, circle like this. And then around the circle, there's sort of like a semicircle like that. It kind of goes like that. So that's like a circle with this other half circle that goes around it. And that's the symbol that I use to represent the difference between the brain and the body. Okay. Now, one of them is the brain, which and one of them is body. Guess which one is which? One in the middle is the brain. Okay. Well, it's a hand. It looks like a brain. That's what they say. You put your hands together. It's the same size as your brain. There's your brain. And it's in the middle. It's in the middle because it's you know your brain is physically enveloped by your body. It's in the middle because it's it watches your whole body. It's in the middle because it has access to your entire body at all times. Your body doesn't have this one part of your body is far away from this other part, but your brain is attached to everything. If you the brain. So it looks like this. There's the brain in the middle, and the body around it, and the brain. The body's underneath, just as your head is above the rest of your body. The brain is above the rest of the symbol. The other part, the body, it's above. And I'll tell you what it would look like if the brain weren't there. If it was just a bar, it would just it would be flat. It would be flat on the ground because your body would just be a mass. It would just be a creature. It would be a base creature without your brain. Your body would be a rat. It would be you know it would be a cool creature. It might be like a mountain lion or something. It might be a jungle cat or a wildebeest. But it's flat on the ground. It doesn't can never ascend. It can never reach the heights, and it isn't organized. It follows its instinct. The path of least resistance, and that's just like gravity. So it's all going to be on the ground. It's flat. And what the brain does is that it attaches itself to the body and it forces it. It drags it up. It pulls it out of its comfort zone. It bends it like a bar of iron. But it's even harder than bending a bar of iron because you have to keep bending it. That's what the brain does. Brain's in the middle. It holds your body together. That's the symbol I've been thinking about. And I was just in the shower. I had this interesting this thoughts, right? I was like, I think about the difference between doing and being. What's doing? Something that is something that. So, on the universal level, the universal level and personal level, or human level, humanity level. Personal, on the universal level, there's something called change and not change. I don't know. There's other words for it. I'm just gonna change and not change. Change and permanence and impermanence. No, that's wrong. Things which are static and things which are static and things which are dynamic. Right? That's universal. For example, something stays in place or it doesn't. Chemical state. Water. Water is like 95. Just a cup of water. It's not all H2O atoms. Some of them are ripped apart by molecular forces. And it's always like random which ones are and which ones aren't. And so you either you're one of the intact molecules, or you're ionized. Either you haven't changed, or you're ionized for like a second, and then you reattach to something else, and then that guy ionizes. I don't know. That might be wrong. Might be just 100% wrong. But it works. It works for my. I think it's right. Change, not change, right? That's what universe. Everything in the universe is either changing or not changing. That's just true. Two things. There's two kinds of things in the universe. Two. Things that change, things that don't change. That's it, right? On a human level, that gets translated into, that corresponds to being and not being. It's a human being, right? Oh, no, sorry. Being and doing. Being and doing. Because you're a human being, right? I'm here. I'm here. I exist. This is flesh. Look, you can see me. I'm right here, right here. You can see me. That's because I am here. This is just. It's a property that I have. It's something that's innate within me. But it's not something that I'm doing. It's not intentional. It's not. I will go into the difference between doing and being later. But there is a difference. It's a really important. It's a fantastically important distinction. It's very. It's like there's memes and then there's like memes. Okay, there's like. This is like the meme. Okay, there's really nothing more important to understand. There's nothing more. The difference between doing and being, and I'll have to talk about it later. But there's a difference, okay? And what struck me was that this model, brain, body, centers around being. I say the brain is on top. The brain is in the middle. The brain, the brain holds. I said it holds up the body, but that's static, right? It's just like it's a property of the brain. That's just what it is. That's just a property of it that it holds everything else up. That's it. That's what it does. And likewise for the body is around around the brain. The body is held up. Look, you're not gonna be, you're not gonna, if you're a marionette, you're not. That's not something you're doing. Okay. Somebody else is pulling the strings. You're just along for the ride. That's being. That's being a puppet. And I said, what would it look like if it were doing? What would it look like if it were doing? Now, just for like, maybe I'm taking some poetic license here. This is all very facile. This is all like, ha, nice, wink. It's like, ha, good one. But it just makes sense, I think. I think it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. It makes sense to say that you go from doing to being. The role switch. The role switch. It's in it. Becomes like you still get the circle in the middle, and you still get the the curve around. But now this is what you're supposed to think when you think about this. It's an amphitheater. It's like a stage. Okay, the middle is the area of performance. It's the limelight. Okay, the middle is the area. It's the all eyes on me. Right, area is where the action's happening. And the outside is the audience, the peanut gallery. It's not there. Look, it's not the peanut gallery's job to do something good. It's the peanut gallery's job to criticize. It's the critical corner. It's there's you can come up with lots of fun names for it. The thing is that once you go from being to doing, these roles switch because it's the body. You have to train your body to do what is right, not to be good. You can't. The body isn't. You have to train it to do what you want, right? The body is subject to the criticism of the brain. The brain knows right from wrong. The brain knows good and evil. The brain knows what's best. The body has no idea. The body is along for the ride. The body, look, the brain and body is like a horse and a rider, okay? In order for the horse to work, you have to break it in. You have to teach it. You have to show it who's boss, okay? Otherwise it goes wild. Otherwise it it's no use. Otherwise you can't control it. That's the stage. The body acts on the stage. The body acts on the stage. Your brain is all around your body, scrutinizing its every move. It's everything it does right or wrong. Look, you're not going to you're, if you have an embarrassing memory, it's not your body that knows it's embarrassing, it's your brain. If you have a memory of something that you did really well, it's not your body, it's your brain that knows. Your brain watches from all sides. Your brain is ever critical. Or at least my brain is. That's what it, and that's kind of the function of your brain, honestly, is to criticize. That's to know what's good or bad, to know what's right or wrong, to figure out the right path to take. Figure out what is right, figure out the right path, figure out the best course of action. Figure out the course of action which will lead to the greatest benefit. That's what your brain. Your body is not good at seeing into the future. Your brain is. Your brain knows what will happen. Your brain. It's easy. It's easier. Uh, your brain knows what will happen. And it's like if you know what's going to happen, you can't afford not to act on it. If you were just a dumb animal, then you would have an excuse not to have to worry about the future. But given that you have the potential, given that you have the possibility to expend your energy and focus on guiding yourself towards the best outcome, that's a burden now. That's a burden on you. It's the burden of choice, the burden of making choices. But it's necessary, and it's what the brain does. Action, doing. It's what the brain does. Doing. Gallery. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but I flipped it upside down, like this. Whoop. And so the upside down stage looks like an eye, right? It looks like an eye. See it? Looks like an eye, and an eyelid, an eye. I wanted to call that one the eye, but it's actually the stage. Okay, it's the stage because it's the critical one. The eye is critical too. It could be both. That's spelled EYE. And now this is a stretch. This is kind of a stretch. But if you take the other one, the little happy face with one eye. This one kind of looks like the letter I. It's got the little circle on top and the bar on the bottom, and that's what it is. It's the self. It's the identity. The identity. It's it's the self that is. It's the self that exists. It's the self that performs being, carries out being, embodies being, that is being. That's what the that's what the in English at least that's what the letter I signifies. So one is the I and the other one's the I. What do you think of that? But we don't call it that. It's a kind of a funny joke. One's the I, the other's the I, but we don't call it that. It's the I and the stage. And those are my symbols. I'm gonna make those my symbols. One of them, the I. That's doing. I is the symbol for doing, and the other I, that's the symbol for being. Those are my new symbols. Pretty. It's 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 cool.